You never forget the moment you find out, not just that she cheated, but that the version of her you loved never really existed. It hits like a slow collapse, your heartbeat echoing in a body that suddenly doesn't feel like home. And in that moment, you don't just lose her, you lose your sense of reality. Right now, feel that. Feel what your body remembers, even if your mind tries to forget, because what comes next isn't survival, it's transformation. There's a moment where everything in you goes silent, not because the world is quiet, but because something just shattered inside of you. You can feel it, can't you? That drop in your stomach, that tightness in your chest, when you realize the woman you trusted, the one you opened your soul to, chose someone else. Right now, feel that? Stay with me here, because this moment, this pain, this is where your new strength begins to take root. You didn't just lose her. You lost a version of yourself that believed loyalty was enough to keep someone close. You sit in the aftermath, and the questions start flooding in. Was I not enough? Was it me? Why did she do this? After everything, it's not just confusion. It's betrayal. It's the kind of pain that doesn't scream. It simmers, quiet, constant, heavy, like walking through smoke after the fire. You start to replay it all. The nights she was distant, the texts she hid, the way she looked you in the eyes, and lied anyway. And in that swirl of memory and rage, a new thought creeps in. I'll never trust anyone again. Feel that with me for a moment. The rawness, the shutting down, the walls slamming up. Because when someone you love cheats, it doesn't just break your heart. It poisons your ability to believe again. You find yourself building armor. Cold silence becomes your default. You laugh less. You analyze more. You start treating love like a risk, a danger, a game you're no longer willing to play. And on the outside, you seem okay. But inside, you're still bleeding. Let me tell you something that no one told me when I was there. Trust doesn't begin with her. It begins with you. Right now, remember why you're here. Because deep down, a part of you wants to believe again. Not in her, not in the past, but in yourself. You don't want to walk through life armored up, afraid to feel, afraid to open. You don't want to keep punishing new people for someone else's betrayal, but you don't know how to let your guard down without risking everything again. This is where we rebuild. Not fast, not recklessly, but with precision, with power, with presence. Feel this. Trust is not a gift you throw at someone and hope they cherish. It's something you own, something you control. It's your energy, your standard, and no one can take that from you, unless you hand it to them. You see, when she cheated, she made a decision about her values. But now, you get to make a decision about yours. Will you become cold, closed, bitter, or will you rise? Will you use this as a reason to disconnect from love, or as a reason to become unshakable? Stay with me here, because this is important. You're not healing to get her back. You're healing to get you back, the version of you that believes again. Not because love is safe, but because you are strong. There's a fire in you that betrayal couldn't kill. And every time you feel that ache, that lonely night where trust feels like a joke, that's the exact moment your new identity is being forged. You don't have to pretend it didn't hurt. You don't have to rush forgiveness. You just have to choose to not let this define you. Let's go deeper. That woman, she made a choice. But what you choose now, in this silence, in this moment, is what will shape everything that comes next. You don't trust again by flipping a switch. You do it by rebuilding your foundation, one brick at a time. The first brick, you keep your word to yourself. You say you'll hit the gym. You go. You say you'll stop checking her socials. You stop. You start becoming the man you trust. And when that version of you begins to show up daily, something powerful happens. You stop chasing safety from others, and you start radiating strength from within. Right now, feel that shift. That deep breath you just took, that was control. That was you stepping into presence again. You can forgive her eventually, not to excuse her, but to unchain yourself. You can love again, not because people won't hurt you, but because you now know how to survive and rise if they do. That is power. That is what real trust looks like. Somewhere in the silence, something new starts to rise. Not loud, not dramatic, just a steady pulse. A whisper in the background that says, "You're still here." And maybe that's all you need right now. Not to be over it, not to trust someone new, but to remember that even after everything, you didn't break. Stay with me here, because what you're feeling now, this in-between space, this is the forge, the place where men rebuild themselves with fire and clarity. You're not just recovering from betrayal. You're redefining who you'll be on the other side of it. You'll feel it in small moments first. A morning where your chest feels a little less heavy. A conversation with someone where you catch yourself being honest, without fear. The moment you hear her name, and your whole body doesn't tense up. These are the signs. Not that you're forgetting, but that you're remembering who you are. Right now, feel the ground under your feet, because with every decision you make in this season, to choose discipline over comfort, to stay present instead of numb, you are proving something. You are not defined by what she did. You are defined by how you respond to it. And brother, that response, that's the birthplace of trust. Trust isn't just something you give to others. It's something you practice with yourself. You keep showing up for the man in the mirror, even when you're tired, even when you're doubting, even when part of you still wants to go back. You keep your word. You build integrity like a wall, brick by honest brick, and slowly, something shifts. You don't just start to trust people again. You start to trust your own instincts. You stop over-explaining. You stop second-guessing. Because now you know your gut isn't the problem. Your capacity to love isn't the weakness. What hurt you was never your heart. It was who you handed it to. Feel that. Let it sink in that you can love deeply and still protect yourself. You can open up without collapsing. You can stay soft without being stupid. This is the kind of trust that isn't given. It's earned. And you're earning it right now. That next woman, if and when she shows up, she's going to meet a version of you that doesn't chase love out of fear, but chooses love from a place of peace. You won't be afraid of being cheated on again. Not because it's impossible, but because you know it won't destroy you. That's the shift. You're not rebuilding to guard yourself. You're rebuilding so you never lose you again. You'll still have hard days. Memories will sneak in. Doubt will whisper in the middle of the night. But now, you'll know what to say back. You'll say, "I've been through worse. I've survived. And I'm not afraid anymore." And that's power. That's freedom. You're not just a man healing from betrayal. You're a man who faced heartbreak and chose to rise. Not to get even, not to prove anything, but because you finally realized who you are and who you'll never be again. So take a breath with me right now. Slow, deep, grounded. Because this version of you, the one who trusts himself again, he's already here. Not in the future. Not after one more therapy session or one more closure talk. He's here. Now, and he's yours. If you choose him. So ask yourself one question. Are you ready to be the man you can trust? Because when you are, no betrayal, no past, no woman can ever steal your peace again. Like this video if you felt that fire begin to return. Subscribe if you're choosing strength over shutdown. And in the comments, tell me one thing. What part of yourself are you learning to trust again? Starting today? Because this isn't just recovery. This is your rebirth. And brother, the man you're becoming, he's worth everything.